Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Let the record reflect that you have a quorum.
Okay, let the record reflect we have a quorum. Public comment.
I don't see any public.
No
We can wait back.
Okay, commissioners report. Ms. Dewell, do you have an idea about when we're gonna have elections?
We can set that up at the next meeting. I can agendize that discussion and or action, okay?
Okay. Mr. G, you have anything?
I just want to say that our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and friends of the Barstow High School student who passed away yesterday. It's always sad to hear news like that. On a lighter note, I'd like to welcome Mr. Rosenberg to the commission. I'm sure you do an excellent job.
Thank you, sir.
Glad you're here.
Yes. Well, glad you're here.
Not quite here yet. Somebody might not like it yet.
Okay. Do you have anything to add at this time? No?
Not,
Not?
yeah. It's good to be here. Like signs on all.
Yes. Okay, CSEA.
That's me. So I don't really have a lot to report right now. We've had a few complaints coming in regarding workload and the excessive workload at the moment. Lack of subs. So I was hoping to have a conversation with Ms. Dool coming up in regards to the sub list and where we're at with that. Testing, things like that, things of that nature, vacancy lists. And of course, our condolences also to the family and the friends and the associates of the student that was lost. The student was also first a junior high student and was also one of my Montera students when I was at Montera. So this kind of hits a little bit to home for me too. So it's kind of a rough day today, all the way around. But CSEA is working towards, of course, we have our dues increase. So we're looking at adjusting our budget to reflect the new dues increase from the from the $2 to the $5, so $3 per member increase. Also matching up membership as to making sure we have some members that aren't getting their deductions coming out like they're supposed to. So just looking into all of those kind of things to clean up any errors in that area or, mishaps that are going on right there. And it's not necessarily anybody's fault. We've had a lot of changeover up in accounting up at,
County?
up in the up north in our field offices up there, the
San Jose?
CSEA offices as well. So it's not falling on any one person in particular. We're just trying to clean up all that and then just recruiting new members. And we are looking at having a meeting for the noontime supervisors to find out if they want to become part of the bargaining unit because they are not, while they are considered classified employees, they are not part of our bargaining unit. So we want to have that discussion with them about bringing them into the bargaining unit. Yes, ma'am.
If you need me, let me know. I would love to.
Yeah, we're planning on having a meeting to discuss with them what it involves in becoming part of, what the steps are that are necessary, and how many want to, how many don't want to, and kind of go from there. We do have to have at minimum 50% membership signed membership applications to be a member before we can even bring them into the bargaining unit, and then we can take the necessary steps to move forward with that. So we first want to poll them, and it'd be nice to have them all the same room, so we're looking at setting a date for that. So as of right now, that's all we have on the forefront. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I know it's kind of inappropriate to ask questions of the audience. Can I ask?
Yeah.
How did, or
We're a
how
little
is it
informal
that,
here.
what's that?
We're a little informal here.
Okay. How did noon duty supervisors not get included into your guys'?
So they haven't
Bargaining
been,
group.
they haven't been
Was
part
it
of the
an hourly
bargaining
thing?
unit for a long time.
Well,
Yeah.
They've become, they are considered subs.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead.
So in 2017, noon duty soups and or proctors and or moms on the recess playground Ed Code was incorporated to change to bring them into the classified service in 2017, which did not include merit systems. In 2018, they did another law very similar that brought them into the merit systems. And here, they weren't a merit system yet. They had negotiated that they would bring them into the make them all subs. That's what was,
Okay,
that's what
that's
was
what I
agreed to,
remember.
was to make them subs.
Yes.
By the vote of bringing them into a merit system, because in a merit system, all classified subs are now considered limited term classified employees. So they are classified employees, but they were never brought into the bargaining unit.
They're not part of the bargaining unit.
And once they come into the bargaining unit, then we can move them into classified, not limited term, but classified. And I've done this in another district where there's a lot, it's not hard.
It's not, it's just there's steps, it's always a
Yeah.
process.
It's a negotiation process, it's a grandfathering process, there's a lot of steps, but once they're in, they get all the benefits of the
It's not a
bargaining.
hard process, but it is a process, so we have
Yeah.
to. So the first step for us is to pull the current staffing in
And then
those
get your
positions.
50%.
We have to have it minimum 50%, and then we can move forward from there. So it's just a process, following the steps.
I was surprised they weren't part of it. Is that
And there's been kind of 50-50 in the past, it's always kind of been 50-50 because they like the flexibility of the sub being able to come in when needed, not have to worry about, I have to take a sick day, do I have enough sick time? And, I'm gonna take a vacation, or I don't wanna go to work, those type of things, having that flexibility. But more and more,
Because it will require them to now be classified employees, it will require a job description, they will be in positions, part-time, and
they'll have to follow all of the same things that a
Things that
classified
every-
employee has to follow, not a sub.
Gotcha.
when we did it in my last district, those that didn't want to, they stayed as subs. They stayed as subs, and those that did came in.
And that's after they get to 50%.
Right.
And it's
Right.
50% plus one?
No,
No,
it's
it's
just
just
50%.
Just 50, simple 50% threshold.
So, and the talk of late has been more are interested in being permanent versus a sub than in the past. So it looks like it'll go that route. We just want to have that meeting because
How many people are you talking about?
well, you have about
12?
3 per site,
Yeah,
Oh,
there's like,
wow.
on average, 3 per site,
give
so
or take.
15 to 20, give or take, plus subs,
Right.
plus.
And that's at the primary levels, that's not at the secondary levels. The
Right.
secondaries don't have the, with the exception, I think STEM might have some,
STEM, I think does, yes.
but not the junior high, not the.
You're talking about a good number of people.
So it's a good amount,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a good little number.
What about BIS? First,
I'm not sure on BIS, I'd have to double check.
I think this has 1 or 2.
They might have a couple. So this is still kind of that gray area of.
elementary.
Because the history of that
Elementary,
was
yeah.
way back, they were moms.
Yeah.
There's
that-
moms and grandparents.
Yes,
Moms and
exactly.
grandparents that wanted to help at the elementary level schools during recess or lunch, thus noon duty
Need to be
soups,
supervisors.
and to just help. But over time, as society evolves, they were needed. And they're
It's
needed even
become
more
more of a
today.
necessity than not. So like I said, the percentage that we will be bringing them into the bargaining unit is very high, but we are still taking those steps to do that. So we just need to get a date on the books to get them to a meeting to have that conversation. Because as a sub, they don't have an email, so it's hard to email them too, so we have to get the notification to them. And we want to make sure that everybody's aware of it, so we're still working through that. But that's one of the top things that we're working on right now.
Okay, district updates, Mr. Well?
Yeah, Mr. Gutierrez could not be here, but he sent me a text, so I'm gonna read it. He says, good evening, Commissioners. Please allow me to apologize for not attending the meeting. I'd like to welcome Mr. Rosenberg to the Commission. I am pleased to report that we have closed negotiations and are awaiting the AB 1200 approval so that we can send it to the board for final approval. We are also working with CSEA on updating the contract with publishing, and he says, thank you for your time.
And now your director's report.
So, we currently have 4 recruitments in the testing stage. 5 recruitments are open. I believe we have 2 interviews in process, or are all the interviews complete?
2.
2 recruitments in, 2 interviews in process. There's currently 343 classified employees. 150 are the 8-hour full-time, 90 are the benefited 4.75 hour, and 103 are the non-benefited. As you know, Labor Day was last week. It was a long weekend. I hope everybody enjoyed their long weekend. And of course, this past Monday was Patriot Day. I honchoed the remembrance out of the flagpole for 9/11. And I would like to say my thoughts and prayers go out to the family, go out to Barstow High School, the friends, the staff, the junior high school, the staff, everyone that had interactions with this student. We were notified last night, so cabinet met at the high school with the crisis team, and then we were all dispersed to go help out, to give teachers the opportunity to go talk to the crisis team, and any students help with the students, and just help out all around. The district, I think, has done a great job with that. I would like to talk about a couple things. I gave you your vacancy list. It is quite extensive. That's why we have open and continuous for paraeducator, because we've exhausted our paraeducator list, trying to fill all the paraeducator vacancies. Nutrition services is open and continuous. Again, we pretty much ran down that list, so we're trying to get them in, to get them tested so we can get more interviews going out there. Would like to point out all of the Title I positions are in blue, because right now any Title I position that comes vacant on the classified side is going to be put on hold. The district received notice that they are receiving less than what they anticipated in Title I funds. So vacancies are being put on hold, Title I vacancies, till we know for sure whether they can. So there are quite a few para vacancies, still a lot of vacancies in the TKs, which a lot of the TKs were just created because they expanded this year. We tried to share the hurt by saying you've got 2, but take 1. You've got 2, take 1, so they can at least have them. And there's just an awful lot of movement out there right now. I gave you a copy of the recent budget run. I also gave you a copy of the current AB 1699 bill that I checked today. I printed this probably Monday. I checked today. This bill was passed in the Senate. It was sent back to the Assembly with the estimation that it will hit the governor's desk before the end of the month. And what this bill does is, the intent of this bill, rightly so, was to try to get more classified part-time employees into benefited positions. That was the intent of this bill. If you read this bill, that is not what's going to happen. CASBO, AXA, CSPCA all oppose this bill. So I'll let you read the bill. It's going to put a wrench in recruiting, it's going to put a wrench in hiring, and it's going to cost the district 10 hours of training for every permanent, full-time benefited vacancy.
Oh, wow. Is it attached to the agenda? Sorry.
No, it's just extra. You want a copy?
Please.
I guess they are.
And the vacancy list as well. We can get it after. We'll get it after.
Because my vacancy list doesn't have stuff that you're gonna want, not much, okay? Okay, so that's my report. Thank you. Oh, management team guidelines. You two have management team guidelines to put in your binders. I have the new binder. It already has the updated version for Mr. Rosenberg.
Okay, so it's just.
So yeah, just updating the copy that's in there. As you can see, I'm a little day late and dollar short on those because they were approved like sometime last year.
adoption of the agenda.
I move that we adopt the agenda.
Okay, a second. Vote?
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing. Public hearing on the selection of Mr. Ben Rosenberg as joint appointee to the Personnel Commission for a term of 3 years and 3 months. Time open at 4:47. And time close 4:48. Approve Mr. Ben Rosenberg as the joint appointee Personnel Commissioner.
Aye.
Do we need a motion
We
first?
should do motion, yes.
I move that we approve Mr. Rosenberg as Personnel Commissioner.
Second? Vote?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Well, administration.
So I believe you have this, so you
I have.
can read from it. Raise your right hand, sir. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I state your name. I, Ben Rosenberg.
I knew he was coming.
You knew it was coming. Said repeat after me.
I know. I almost said your name because
Yeah.
do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
and I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion.
and that I will well and faithfully
And that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome to the Personnel. Yeah, I put it with the, actually with the agenda binder. Commissioner. So,
Thank you very much for having me here. And I'll try to do the best that I can in support of you guys. This is different in a role and stuff, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised as to how much I want to learn and what it is I want to do.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Okay, CSPCA Annual Conference, save the date. That's March 3rd through the 5th, 2024 in Monterey.
are you interested in going?
I have a question.
Mhm.
If I say yes now and something happens between now and then, what's the cancellation policy?
Normally, well, I don't believe that registration is opened yet. Once it opens, I will always try to target the early bird registration. Once you register, they tend to not give refunds. However, hotel, whatever planes, those can all be canceled. What I've worked out with CSPCA in the past, because I had something similar happen way back, they will provide a copy of all the digital presentations, all the PowerPoints, all of that will then be packaged and sent to the person who couldn't make it.
Okay.
Is it worth $799? I don't know, but you will at least get all of that, but they won't let you cancel the registration usually. Depending upon how far in advance. So like if you don't find out till like the 1st of March, probably no, they definitely probably won't cancel it. But if we know maybe the end of January, I might be able to convince them. But
Can it be transferred to somebody else?
that's the other thing, is it might be able to be transferred to somebody else.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then at this point, I am interested in going.
Yeah, I'm interested in going.
of course, I find these things very informative, and especially for me being a newbie. But even better yet, over the years of doing them, the team building that goes with an event like this is far greater normally than the conference itself.
And I will
It's the building
agendize-
the relationships between the group.
Yeah. I'll agendize it probably next meeting as far as the cost and the estimate for the hotel and everything like that. I know they did the conference in Monterey 2 years ago. It was Maria, myself, Commissioner Stoops, and Assistant Superintendent Gutierrez went to the Monterey conference. And that was our 50th anniversary conference, I believe, when they did that. So I'll have that on the next agenda. Thank you.
Okay. Consent list. It is recommended that the Personnel Commission consider approving a number of agenda items as a consent list. Consent items are routine in nature and can be enacted in one motion without further discussion. This procedure conserves meeting time for a full discussion of significant issues. Okay, so
Madam Chair, I ask that, that would be 8A be pulled, please.
okay.
So, Commissioner Rosenberg, just to let you know, they might not be aware of this protocol. Okay? I'll let you take the
I just
lead.
had some questions and I didn't have a chance to talk to you, and I think maybe it's
That's okay.
good for a forum so people can see kind of my
I
thought
know exactly
process.
what you're doing. I'm fine with that.
Thought process.
Okay. A, ratify eligibility list, or do we need a motion first?
You need to ratify the one that's left. Well, yeah, you need to talk about this one first.
Only because I've never seen one of these before. And just my brain kind of works in a manner that didn't quite understand. So we have a list of 9 people here. We go down the list, and I figured it was ranked from top to bottom, the 9 people. How is it that what I'm assuming in my mind is a tie for 8th with one that's 79.5 and then one that's 89.5? Explain that.
Well-
Why does that work out that way?
That might be a typo on my part. I'll have to go back and check. I think it's supposed to be 79.5.
Oh, okay.
That's definitely a typo on my
I was like, I was looking at it and going, okay, there's some kind of rule that I don't know.
No, thank you for pointing that out. It's just, that's a typo.
Okay, thank you. That was it, Madam Chair.
I would like to, since you brought it up,
Yes, ma'am.
you may have ties, okay? So it's actually 10 people, because there's 2 people
Oh,
in my
duh.
team,
Okay.
okay? And I know, I'll talk about it. This is a dual certification list because this has internals and externals combined. And when we do that, that's when the internal candidates get their seniority credit.
That's kind of what I figured it somehow.
Because I know the question came up with the ELL para list that you also see.
Yeah.
There's no seniority credit because that is not a dual certification list, okay? That's a promotional and open, so the promotional candidates go first,
Okay,
and then the open candidates go first. If it was
Gotcha.
dual certified, then you would see the seniority credits, and they would all be merged into one list.
oh, okay.
You tend not to do a dual certification on the bargaining unit classifications.
Why?
They would just prefer that current internals have the higher priority.
Okay, fair enough. That was it.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I guess
No,
I should
thank
have asked that before. I just thought I was missing some kind of
And,
rule or
and,
something.
and so I will tell you, like Commissioner D will email me stuff as soon as I send out the agenda on
Okay.
Fridays, he emails me questions. Feel free. That's why I send it out in a draft in advance. But if you don't get a chance to because you're busy, I totally understand and I have no problem in the course of the meeting of answering any questions.
Oh, and I figured it was some rule that I.
That was
didn't know.
definitely my
apologize.
error. It's 79.5.
My bad. Thank you.
Okay, can I get a motion?
Move that we approve the consent list.
Second.
Thank you. Vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, conference action, Personnel Commission meeting schedule, adjustment to the October 2023 meeting date and time.
Madam Chair, I make a motion.
Go ahead.
That was the motion to
Okay.
approve. I apologize.
Just shorten it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have old
Shorthand.
habits and just that, and then, get the
Well, we'll
discussion
learn.
going if they want to or something like that.
So we're all available that day? No errands?
As far as I know.
Okay, yeah. I move to approve the change in meeting date.
We have a motion and a second, correct?
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, just note the meeting time is at 3:30.
Because it is a
Okay.
Friday.
Oh.
Yeah, I figured that.
Well, you don't want to do it at like 5?
Okay, vote.
Aye.
Thank you.
Closed session, none at this time. Any questions? No? Okay, adjournment at 4:58.
Thank you, good.